Well, hello, folks, and welcome to the Dieter Melhorn Fishing Podcast. I hope you're having a good day, whatever day it is that you happen to be listening to the podcast or watching the podcast on YouTube. You've probably been wondering, where the heck you been, man? We ain't seen a podcast or listened to one in a while. We'll get to all that in a minute. We're going to talk about all that, what's going on in the world. But a little bit of housekeeping first. Well, first of all, thanks to For Real Fishing. I got my hoodie on. It is fall. Get it over here where I can see it. It's fall, starting to get cool. I got a hoodie on in here. Thanks, For Real Fishing. Y'all check them out, forrealfishing.com. They got a bunch of fishing apparel on there that you can wear. I've got a visor around here somewhere. I got a rain jacket that's actually pretty cool. So yeah, go check them out, forrealfishing.com. If you're listening to the podcast, any of you folks that are new and you're listening, you came across this on any of the popular podcast platforms, there's also a video version, and vice versa. If you're watching it on YouTube, some of my regular YouTube folks, there's an audio version if you want to listen to it. All of that stuff you can find, whichever way you came here, on the website, DieterMelhornFishing.com. And there's also a contact section on there where if you got a question or if you want to book a guide trip. Yes, I'm a charter captain in the Carolinas, right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. So if you're in the area and want to fish at some point, you can reach me there through the website, DieterMelhornFishing.com. All of the information is on there and the contact information. So let's get to what's going on in my world and where I've been. Yes, busy, late summer, fall, crazy busy. One, it's been very busy with the guide trips. The guide trips were just off the chain this year with stuff going on busy. In addition to that, I'm trying to coordinate and balance doing the YouTube channel. Obviously, I got to put up at least one video a week to keep my sanity and keep you guys watching. So I've got all of that going on. We got this other thing called life and family, and you got all that going on. Try to coordinate a vacation or two in there to get away. And then I've still got the production world stuff that's going on. A lot of this video stuff that I do here, you know, it crosses over into the real world. There's actually a lot of video clients that we've gotten through the YouTube channel. People find out that, yeah, I do high-end video production in the real world, and consequently, we've had some spin-off business there. So I say all this to say thank you. It's all because of you guys that a lot of this stuff has happened. And blessed to be doing it, blessed to have it going on. And it's from the people out there watching, listening, all that, reaching out, and making my life complicated, which is a blessing. So it's a good thing to have going on. So there's a lot been happening. I haven't done any podcast really because I've been off the water in the fall. It's a time that I do a lot of deer hunting, and really from October through about the second week of November is I'm pretty tied up. One, I've got a lot of other stuff going on production-wise, traveling around, and then you add that in, and it's crazy. It's 100 miles an hour. I'm actually coming to starting to slow just a little bit, and that's why I'm taking this podcast today. And, you know, going over to this stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about some fall fishing here and what's going on and what's getting ready to happen. But I wanted to kind of fill you in on what's going on there. And we'll talk a little bit about what's going on next year, too, with maybe some changes with the channel, some shifting gears, and some shifting gears with the guide service. But if you're here for fishing information, fall's the time to be out on the water. We're getting into the time period now that things have started to cool. We're starting to get some cool nights, but it's honestly unseasonably warm where I'm at, and our temperatures are way above normal. And I think that's probably true for a big part of the country, at least a big part of the catfish world, and more people are fishing for catfish. The other thing we're facing in the southeast, and I'm hearing this in other areas, is drought. Our lakes are down significantly. Some of the ramps we had a few closures. They've tried to hold it fairly close without going into the total closures, but our water levels are down, and so there's all that. So it's kind of a little different year so far. It hasn't got super cold yet. I have not honestly been on the water in a month. As crazy as that sounds, I know you see the videos that are up. A lot of those were shot the last couple of weeks. They're coming in. I don't know. It may not have been a month. It may have been 3 weeks. I don't know. 2 weeks, whatever. It's been a while is what it comes down to. I have not fished since our lakes have drawn down as much as they have. I think we're probably 2.5 feet below the normal elevation right now. So that's pretty significant. The good news is people are catching fish. Fish are biting. We're into that, fall type period. Stuff is changing around, shifting around. It's kind of where's the bait going, and it's a good time to be fishing. So if you got a chance to get out and fish, it's a good time to be out there. Flatheads are still getting caught. We're about to the end of the rope on flatheads. By the time you make it to November, there may still be a few, but those water temperatures have dropped pretty significantly. You can still catch them. You can still find them. You will still stumble around. But we're really getting into the blue cat territory and the bigger channel cats. For some reason in the southeast, we catch bigger channel catfish in the fall, winter than we do in the summertime. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's just because the smaller channel catfish are not caught as much. They're not as active. Who knows what it is. But I will be back on the water filming here in about a week, getting into some of the fall fishing. We're going to try targeting some of the bigger fish. It's a good time going into late November and into December to start targeting these bigger fish. For whatever reason, they start to bite. So, or they're easier to catch. I don't know. There's something happens. It's the time that I like anchoring up. I like putting out big baits and, targeting these fish. So you'll be seeing some videos coming up with some of that stuff. So hold tight on that. Stay in there for that. We're also going to do some stuff here coming up around Thanksgiving. I'm going to do a little flurry leading up to Black Friday. Some gear review stuff. Some people like these videos, some people don't like them. I do them just because they're kind of fun to do. We get some stuff that is sent in from different vendors, and it's fun to review some of this stuff and show some people some stuff that are out there. And a lot of it I end up using. One of the things we're going to be trying out is, and talking about, is this thing from Nomad Internet. It's basically wireless internet, and we're going to be trying it out on the boat, doing some live streams. You kind of wonder, what does the internet got to do with fishing? Well, I'll explain that in a future video, but it's going to be cool that it's probably going to give us the ability to do better live streams while we're out on the water in some of these places that don't have good cell service. Most of the time when I'm doing, all the time when I'm doing a live stream, I'm using my cell phone. Got it up there mounted, it's looking at me, and as you guys know, using a cell phone is not always very consistent and a very good connection when you're out on the water. Depending on where you're at, you may have very little cell service. This Nomad Internet it uses cells, but it also uses some other bands of cellular stuff that's out there, and I don't know, it doesn't work everywhere. You're not going to go in the middle of nowhere and it work in the middle of the backwoods of the Rockies, but there's a lot of places that we've had issues with cell service that it is working. We've used it at our hunt camp. We're going to be in Kentucky this weekend. We're going to try it there. We've had some issues out there with getting cell service out. So I'm going to be trying it out. I'm just excited to have something on the boat that's going to give me some better options for filming and doing some live streams and stuff from the water. So yeah, this Nomad Internet will be kind of interesting product. We also got a bunch of a little more endemic fishing stuff that we're going to be talking about too, and just reviewing and showing you. Got some bank fishing stuff. I'm going to do some more bank fishing stuff this year. People like that. It's where my roots are. It's where I started out fishing. As with most people, they start out fishing on the bank. And we're going to try doing some more of that. I've got a tackle bag backpack that we've been playing with and messing around with. I'm going to do a video on and talk about that and how it works, and try to go over some of the bank fishing stuff. A lot of people, that's their first introduction to going fishing and catching catfish, or any fish for that matter. So I'm kind of going to, slow down, go backwards a little bit in the progression of fishing, and do some of that stuff. Plus, it's fun. There's a lot of products out there too that we can try and use and experiment with and that kind of stuff. And it's also, honestly, it's a good place to do live streams from, because you're not on a boat moving around having to deal with everything there. You're pinned in one place. So the challenge will be finding some decent locations to do it from. So that's always a challenge for any, you know, bank fisherman, anybody that's out there doing any bank fishing. So looking forward to some of that stuff coming up. The other thing that's gonna be interesting is what we do gear wise in 2024. I have to get used to saying 2024. I haven't decided totally what my plan is as far as tackle, gear, rods, reels, all that kind of stuff, how we're going to approach that. This year, we used Ancient Mariner reels the entire time, Catch the Fever, Big Cat Fever, Hellcat rods all year. Been using all those. And we're going to play around with some different stuff this year and just introduce some new products, try some new things out, give some, you know, stuff for you guys to think about out there. Get a lot of questions about a lot of different products, and we're going to just put some to use and do a little bit more of that. It's there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of tackle out there. There's a lot of questions about a lot of it. Some of it means nothing. Some of it's really not that big of a change. It's just a different package with a different bow on it, and but we're going to go over some of that. So we found some cool stuff at iCast that I have not even tested out. I've got some of, that's not them, I was going to say I had one of the hooks here from some of the Dragon Master stuff. I have not even had a chance to try any of that stuff out. They've got some rigs. I did a video on them. I think it was in a podcast talking about some of their snagless stuff they've got. Some of their rigs, some of these little brush things that I have not even tested any of that stuff out, guys. We've got a bunch of stuff from iCast. There's some life jackets, auto-inflating life jackets for any of you guys that are boat fishing. Haven't even reviewed those things yet. One thing about my reviews, and I talk about this in an upcoming video that we tape, is people will send me stuff or want to send me stuff, and a lot of times it's Chinese companies, and most of it, I mean, probably 90% of it, we don't even entertain. It's all kinds of weird stuff. It's gaming chairs. I could be in like some big fancy gaming chair here, but they want to do videos on that. We've had kids' toys, squishy toys, all kinds of stuff. Aging ointments, you know, it's crazy, the stuff. Cookware, and most of it has no application, or it's of no interest to any of the viewers or any people that listen to the podcast. And but some of it, like the Nomad Internet, there is a crossover there. There is a significant crossover, especially for anybody that's an outdoorsman. So some of that stuff we're, you know, kind of interested in, you know, talking about. But so I say all that to say, I take the time to use this stuff and try it out. A lot of these companies, they'll send something and they want something quick. They want you to do an unboxing, pull it out and go, oh, this is the great iPhone. It's the greatest thing in the world. And I'm not that way. I actually want to go out and try it out. Now, there were some things I saw at iCast I thought were cool. Hey, this is it. We haven't tried it. We don't know if it works. We don't know if it's worth the crap. It looks good, but if I'm actually going to do a review video on something, I'm going to test it out and use it for a while. And, you know, a lot of these companies are impatient, man. They say they get something to you and it's like, hey, when's the video going to be up? And it's like, dude, I haven't even fished with it yet. I haven't even tried it out. And so that's the thing. I got a lot of products, a lot of stuff that I just have not had the time to actually get out on the water and test out. Shame on me. I'm bad for doing that. But I also don't want to do a video for you guys until I can give you my opinion on it. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's just an honest review. It's not, most of the stuff I get, I mean, it has a use, it has a purpose, it has a range of what it is good for. So that's the best way to put it. It may not be the best thing in the world, but depending on what your price point is, how much money you got, it may be perfect for you. It was the same thing with this Nomad Internet. We wanted to try it. I wanted to just unbox this thing and show it and say, hey, look at this. Here's an internet thing, not knowing how it works. You know, like I said, we tuck it down to the camper, our hunt camp. which we have horrible service inside the camper, and we've got a metal cover that we're under. It's horrible for the phones. It worked great. We were able to stream movies and stream to the internet. I was able to upload stuff. It worked great. We got a good trial of it. We saw how it was working. Same thing with the backpack. You know, we went out to Colorado on a trip. Tried it out there hiking, just in a traditional backpack sense. And then, you know, we're trying it out as a fishing tackle backpack. So we like to put this stuff through the paces, see if it works. Same thing with some of this stuff I got at ICAST that I want to try out, the Dragon Master stuff and some other stuff. I'm going to put it through the paces, let you know how it works, and let you see how it works. I like doing that stuff. It's fun. It's fun to see how these different products perform and how they work, and we get some interesting ones. So yeah, any of you guys out there that have anything, hit me up. We don't review everything, to be perfectly honest. There is some stuff that, like I said, just does not fit. There is also some stuff that people will send in that we send back. It may be something that's just not well made, doesn't really work, you know, and, you know, we don't do anything with it. But yeah, that's kind of the approach and take on all this stuff. So guide work is going to be interesting next year. I've got to figure out a balance for some of that. It's a blessing that I've got so many requests for so many trips. The downside is there are fewer and fewer days. We've got so many commitments coming up and going on now, partly because of the channel, partly because of other stuff in the production world. And, you know, I've got to figure out some type of balance on where to put these things. The hardest part is short notice trips are not a problem. People who are halfway local or have the ability to show up and short notice are pretty easy to accommodate, because we can, you know, kind of go, hey, I got Tuesday off. I keep a list of people here on one of my little pads, and they're able to do short notice, halfway regional. Boom, we can make that happen. The hard part is people who want to book stuff out way in advance, and for a lot of people, God bless you, you have a schedule, and you're able to do that. In my world, it doesn't work that way. Some stuff we kind of block out well in advance, but there's also a lot of very significant high-profile things that come up relatively short notice. And the hard part about that is for you guys that are wanting to do guide trips that are traveling in from out of town. That's my biggest concern. So, you know, your time to come in here, it's hard to cancel it. So I got to figure out something on that end to make all that work and hit some kind of balance there on that. Whether it be these people coming into town, you know, they have a window where they're here for 4 or 5 days and we fish 1 or 2 of them, whatever. So it's tough. It's a blessing, but it's tough at the same time. So we'll figure it out. There'll be an answer. We'll come to some kind of conclusion in all of it. And then in the middle of all that is the fishing. It's, you know, more of it, more videos next year. It's going to be the same thing. You know, try to broaden out maybe some of the appeal, some of the places we're fishing, some of the styles of fishing, but it's looking good for the upcoming year. I'm not going anywhere is the bottom line. Everything's good. You know, the only absence is just because of being so busy. So it's a good place to be. It's a blessing to be here. And to those that are giving great things are expected. So you folks can expect more content coming up in the next year to keep you entertained, educated, and hopefully out on the water catching more catfish. So until next time, we'll catch you out on the water.